Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome to today's live stream. I'm teacher Sarah, as many of you know, and today we are going to do another live stream lesson. So if you are joining us now, please go ahead and say hello in the comments, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. I'd love to see. Oh, hello. Now that I have retired, I've decided to do my resume in English after 50 years without touching it. Oh, that's very cool. Resume writing in English, that could be a live stream topic. And hello to you, Pedro. Thank you for joining us again this week. Amar, hi, thank you. Hi, welcome. Hello, thank you so much for coming today. From Pakistan. Thank you so much for joining. Hi, guys. Yep, I see all your comments coming in over there. Hello. Hi. Thank you guys for joining today. So in just a moment, Mohammed, hello. It's just lots of hellos at our beginnings here. Hello. Hi, hello, Veronica. Hi, everyone. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. And hello, our last hello. Oh, not our last hello. Hello. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So if you guys just hold on a moment and I will share my screen and we'll start today's lesson. Okay, so hopefully now you guys can see my screen. It should say, welcome to the live stream. So hopefully now that you guys can see, let's get started. So we've been doing a lot of different topics each week. And this week, I want to focus in on a speaking and listening skill. So many of you comment, how can I improve my listening? How can I improve my speaking? So today we're going to talk about a skill that is very useful for this. So today we are going to talk about something called linked sounds. This is a speaking skill and a very important listening skill. So let's get started. So I want to ask you guys some questions first, just to think about. Have you ever noticed that English speakers don't say each word separately? I do, right? When I'm live streaming, but if you are talking to a native speaker or watching a movie or reading a book, or not reading a book, just listening, then you can notice that English speakers often do not say each word. And have you ever had a hard time understanding English speakers because of this? Maybe especially when they are speaking very quickly, it could be easy to have a hard time understanding. And why is that? That is because English speakers use many linked sounds. So we're going to talk about this today, linked sounds. What are they? When and where do we use them? And how can that help your speaking and listening? So let's talk about this question first. What is a linked sound? Linking is a pronunciation or speaking technique or speaking strategy that allows speakers to say words smoothly together. So maybe in your language, you also use linked sounds, and it helps to make the flow of your speech better. And you can speak faster, and so on. When linked together, the words sound like one continuous word. And we're going to see that today, what happens when we do that. Using linked words when speaking English can make your speech sound much more fluent and natural. This is something that can be very difficult to really learn well. So we're going to start practicing today. And in the future, after this lesson, I hope that it helps you to have better listening and think about the way that you're speaking a bit more. So let's begin. We are going to take a look at this sentence. Okay, so just read it to yourself quickly. Okay, I wonder how you read it. So I'm going to read it one way and another way, and which one sounds more natural? Okay, number one. Do you remember that time when Anna and Amy fell in the swimming pool? Okay, and number two. Do you remember that time when Anna and Amy fell in the swimming pool? So, which one do you think sounded more natural? In the second one, I did use linked sounds, and it sounds more like a native speaker, right? Natural speaking. So we're going to come back to this sentence a lot today, but we're going to be looking at the different ways that we link sounds together. So there are many types of linked sounds, but in order to talk about them, first let's talk about these two words, vowels and consonants. So these two words are about the English alphabet. Vowels are the letters A, E, I, O, and U, and sometimes we use Y as a vowel as well. And consonants are all the other letters, B, C, D, F, G, and so on. So all the other letters. So anything that's not a vowel is a consonant. And this will be important to remember so you can understand what exactly we're looking at. So what are the types of linked sounds in English? We're going to talk about 4 today. We're going to talk about linking to consonants, linking similar consonant sounds, linking consonants to vowels, and linking to vowel sounds. So let's go through step by step and talk about each of these types of linked sounds. Okay, first we're going to talk about linking to consonants. And remember, consonant is any letter that is not a vowel. So A-E-I-O-U, vowel. All the other 21 letters, consonants. Okay? So let's think back to that sentence. In the sentence it said, do you remember that time? So how many times would I pronounce the T sound in this phrase, that time? Would I say that time? Or listen to how I say it, that time. So when one word ends with a consonant sound and the next one starts with the same consonant, like T and T here, right? End of this word, beginning of this word, same consonant, we link the words. This can be a little tricky. We kind of mute or very just kind of end the T here and pronounce the first T or the first consonant of the next word. So again, I would not say that time. I would say that time, that, right? So I don't say the T at the end of that time. Let's look at a few more examples to help you understand. Okay, here we have the words red and dress. So D is a consonant. Red ends in a D, and our next word starts with a D. So I would not say red dress. I would say red dress. Just like that time, red dress, right? At the D, that hard D sound, I just do at the beginning of the second word. So these sounds are linked. That time, red dress. Let's see a few more. Next we have cheap place. So again, we have ends with the consonant P, and the next word starts with the consonant P. So we link these sounds, linking, putting them together. So I would not say cheap place. I would say cheap place. Cheap place. So notice that I don't say the P at the end of cheap in a very hard way. It just blends, links to that next P consonant. Cheap place. And the last one we'll look at, because we can do this with any consonant, feel lucky. So here my consonant, right, end with L. Next word begins with L, same, so we link. So I would not say feel lucky, I would say feel lucky. So you can hear how that links, right? It almost sounds like one word, feel lucky. And I'm sure you can tell if you do not know about linked sounds and you have not heard these words before, if someone is speaking fast, you might say, wait, what did you say? Feel lucky? What's feel lucky? So let's look at how this works in a sentence. So I'm going to say it using the linked sounds. Don't wear your red dress to that cheap place. So notice how that sounds different than if I did not use linked sounds and said, don't wear your red dress to that cheap place. Don't wear your red dress to that cheap place. Okay? All right. One thing to be careful about is words don't have to end with the same letter. That is a good tip, and that is always the case, but it's also true when they end with the same sound, the same consonant sound. So for example, the word nice ends in CE, but that's an S sound, right? And here we have the word suit. So we basically have S and S. So I would not say nice suit. I would say, let's link them, nice suit. Nice suit. Next we see look cool. So we have the k sound. Even though it's a K and a C, same sound, same k sound. So I would not say look cool. I would say look cool. And last one, quite tall. So here ends in E, but we don't hear that E, right? We just hear the t sound. And we have t at the end of quite and t at the beginning of tall. So we would say quite tall. Notice how that T, that t sound was at the beginning of tall, quite tall. So let's put it together. You look cool in that nice suit. So do you hear how that's different than you look cool in that nice suit? You look cool in that nice suit, right? Blending the words, linking them together. Okay, one thing to be careful about is we can do this for almost all consonants and almost all consonant sounds, but we do not link the ch and j sounds. For example, each choice. So here we have the ch sound, but we cannot link this sound. So I would say each choice. And with the j sound, like orange juice. I would not say orange juice. I still have to keep them separate. Orange juice. So let's see it in a sentence. Each choice you make is important. So notice there you do hear the ch 2 times. Each choice. Each choice. And let's see with our j. Do you want orange juice or cranberry juice? So you did hear both of these. Orange juice, right? Got to say them both. So just be careful. These are the only 2 that we can't link though. So you can with all other consonants. Okay, so that's the first way. Let's talk about our second way, which is linking similar consonant sounds. So you can also link similar consonant sounds. You can link same, but also similar sounds. So let's take a look at this word, cheese sandwich. So here cheese ends with a z sound and sandwich starts with s. These are 2 similar sounds. One is voiced, which means we use our voice to make the sound z. And if we don't use our voice, s. we get the S sound. So we can also link these sounds. So I would not say cheese sandwich. I would say cheese sandwich. Cheese sandwich, right? I link those similar sounds. Okay, next we have the words breathe and through. So here we have the voiced th, breathe, and unvoiced through. So these are very similar sounds. It's just using our voice or not using our voice. Same, just like z, same. So we can also link these sounds. Breathe through. Breathe through. And notice we're still using the sound of the second word. Just like cheese sandwich, we say that S. So when we link sounds, we strongly say the letter of the second word. So these are examples of voiced and unvoiced linked sounds. S, z, v, th, right? Same mouth position, just using my voice or not using my voice. We can also link. So let's see these in a sentence. I could really go for a cheese sandwich. I could really go for a cheese sandwich. So I didn't say that Z sound, cheese, very strongly, right? But we linked the sounds, cheese sandwich. Okay, and next, breathe through your nose. So even though I would say this word as breathe and this word as through, when we link them, breathe through your nose. Interesting, right? So we can also link other voiced and unvoiced pairs like d and t. I need 2 kilos of chicken. So here, need 2. So I would not say I need 2. I need 2 kilos of chicken. So I'm really pronouncing that T and linking these sounds. We can do it with k and g, voiced, unvoiced and voiced. So here we're going to see it with the phrase dark green. The water was a dark green color. Dark green. So there again, really saying that G and linking my similar consonant sounds. Just 2 more for this. We have P and B, unvoiced and voiced. So here we're going to look at sleep better. I sleep better on the weekends. Right? I really say that B. I sleep better. The P and the B, so similar. I sleep better on the weekends. And last, unvoiced and voiced, F and V, F and V. So here we're going to be looking at, yes, our enough vacation. Okay, so I could say enough vacation, but let's hear it in a sentence. Do you have enough vacation time? Do you have enough vacation time? So the F and the V kind of blend together. We link them, enough vacation time. And I really say that V, right? So this is the second way, similar consonant sounds, and we're using it with our voiced and unvoiced pairs, like D and T, P and B, and so on. Okay, third, we have 2 more. This is number 3, and after this, number 4. So number 3, linking consonants to vowels. So remember, vowels are A, E, I, O, U. So this is when a word ends in a consonant, like T or D or B. The next word starts with a vowel, A, E, I, O, U, and we link them. So let's look again at our sentence that we started with. Do you remember that time when Anna and Amy fell in the swimming pool? Okay, so I showed you at the beginning, what is the more natural way to say it, 1 or 2? And the more natural way is, do you remember that time when Anna and Amy fell in the swimming pool? So here we're doing a lot of consonant to vowel linking, and it can make this middle part sound very difficult to hear the words. So let's take a look. So we know that time, right? Consonant, consonant, that time. Really say that second T. Do you remember that time? Okay, next, this middle part, we have a lot of consonant to vowel. When ends in N, consonant. Next word A, link. When Anna. And then we have and ends in a D. Amy begins with an A, and Amy. Here we have fell ends in L, and the next word in begins with I, fell in, the swimming pool. So here we see we have 3 linked sounds. When Anna and Amy fell in. When Anna and Amy fell in. Instead of when Anna and Amy fell in, right? So let's look a little closer at consonant and vowel linking, which is one of the most common and can be difficult to understand. Imagine I'm saying this sentence very quickly. It can be hard to know the words when Anna and Amy fell in. If you are just listening, huh? What? So let's get some practice. I'm going to show you 3 sentences, and let's see the difference when we link consonants to vowels. So number 1, there's an elephant in the garden. So here there's ends in S, N begins in A, there's N. Okay, but we also have an ends in N and elephant begins with E, there's an elephant. So we can do it for many words in a row. Here elephant ends in T, in begins with I, elephant in or elephant in. The garden, we can't link that. So here it would sound like there's an elephant in the garden. There's an elephant in the garden. Okay, let's look at number 2. I ate an apple and 2 pears. Okay, tip. We do not only do this with consonant letters at the end, but consonant sounds. So ate ends in a T. So we're still linking I ate an. I ate an. Then we have N linking to A. Here, apple ends in L, ol sound, right? We're not looking at the E, we're looking at the sound, apple. And next word starts with A, and we can link that too. So this would sound like, I ate an apple and 2 pears. All those sounds linked together. I ate an apple and 2 pears. And you can hear how this helps me to speak quicker and communicate a little bit better. Okay. And last, these are the best tomatoes I've ever had. So here we have, this ends in the Z sound, these, which links to our A. These are. We have our 2 consonants linking here, best tomatoes. Here, tomatoes ends in S, I've, I, tomatoes, I. And again, V sound, I've ever. So this sentence, these are the best tomatoes I've ever had. Notice how that sounds different than these are the best tomatoes I've ever had. These are the best tomatoes I've ever had. So this can be a little tricky to get the hang of, but one thing to notice is, yeah, we write words separately with spaces between them, but in speech, you can easily think of the consonant sound being at the start of the second word. So it's almost like this S is at the start of N. It's almost like this N is at the start of elephant. It's almost like the N sound is at the beginning of in. There's an elephant, right? There's an elephant in the garden. So it's almost like that next word is starting with that consonant sound. Okay, whew, it's a lot today. So last one is linking to vowel sounds. So here we have the sentence, he asked me for 2 avocados. So let me show you here how we would link vowel sounds. Here we have 2 vowels, right? Ends with an E, begins with an A. And here ends with an O, begins with an A. He asked me for 2 avocados. Interesting. So we can add the W sound or the Y sound depending on the 2 vowels. So here with 2 avocados, we link the sounds with W, 2 avocados. So it's almost like we have a W sound in there, 2 avocados. With he asked, we link with the Y sound, he asked. So it's almost like we have a Y in there, a Y sound, he asked. Okay, so here's another one. See, Andy. Do you think, would I link this with a w sound or a y sound? Here we have E to A. Here, I would link with the y sound. See, Andy. That yeah. When we have an E and an A sound, yeah. So we link with the y. How about go out? What would make sense here? A w sound or a y sound? Here also with w, go out. When we have our two O's, go out. It's like we have a W there. So let's see this in a sentence. I'm going to see Andy this weekend. Shall we go out to get something to eat? So here we saw, right? My y sound, and here my w sound. Okay, so remember, our types of linked sounds are linking to consonants like T to T, linking similar consonant sounds like S and Z, linking consonants to vowels like the letter B to the letter E, and linking vowel sounds with that W or Y. Okay, so last practice. I hope you guys try to figure this out while we go through them. Number 1, I want 2 apples and 1 big grapefruit. Oh my gosh, there's so much here. So we'll go through them. Number 1, I'll say it naturally and see if you can figure out where the linked sounds are. I want 2 apples and 1 big grapefruit. There's a lot of linking here. I think this whole sentence is linked. So first we have consonant, consonant. Here we have vowel, vowel. Here we have consonant, vowel, and consonant, consonant. I want 2 apples and 1 big grapefruit, right? Pronouncing that second consonant strongly. I want 2 apples and 1 big grapefruit. Make sure to practice on your own, and you can always rewind the video and practice along with me. Okay, number 2, both the windows are broken. Okay, so what do we see here? I'll say it naturally. Let's see if you can figure it out. Both the windows are broken. Both the windows are broken. So here we have a similar consonant sound, the th and th, our th voiced and unvoiced. And here we would link the S and the A, windows are. So we would say both the windows are broken, right? Pronouncing this, both the windows are broken. Okay, number 3, my friend isn't going to be on time. Quite a few here as well, so I'll say it naturally. Let's see if you can get it. My friend isn't going to be here on, my friend isn't going to be on time. My friend isn't going to be on time. So first we have our consonant to vowel. My friend isn't. And then we have vowel to vowel. Beyond, like that y sound. My friend isn't going to be on time. Be on time. Okay, number 4, I can't tell when Neil's joking. So here we have 2 consonant consonants. Let's see if you can hear it. I can't tell when Neil's joking. Here, TT. I can't tell when Neil's joking. And again, really pronouncing that second one the strongest. I can't tell when Neil's joking. Okay, last one. These are the best tomatoes I've ever had. We did do this one. Let's see if we can figure out again. These are the best tomatoes I've ever had. Oh, a lot here. We have our Z to A. These are best tomatoes, 2 T's. I've ever had. So there we have consonant to vowel, consonant sound to vowel. These are the best tomatoes I've ever had. Okay, guys. So a lot of linked sounds, but this is a great way to improve your speaking and your listening. So I hope you learned something valuable, and I hope you get lots of practice using this video. Okay, let's stop sharing my screen. Okay, So here we are. We're back. Hey, guys. uh, yes, as I said, you can watch this later to improve your English pronunciation and speaking. And I hope that you do. You can practice along with me, repeat after me anytime. So let's see if we have any comments. Yes, sounds like elephant in. It does. We almost don't say that T. We would not say elephantin. Actually, that might be more of an American accent. In British English, you might be more likely to pronounce the T. I want, or elephant, elephantin. So that also depends on accent. So the fact that I say elephant in, there's an elephant in the room, would be different than maybe a British accent. So, but it does. Elephant in. Yeah, we link those words together. Sounds like one word. Oh, thank you. You are a wonderful student. Thank you for joining today. Hello. So let's see. Help you understand the difference between the V and W sound. Yes. So, Nasir, I'm not sure where you're from, but this is a common difficulty for second language learners sometimes, especially if one or both of these sounds are not in your native language. For example, some Chinese speakers who are learning English have a hard time with V and W, and instead of very, might say wary, right? Use the W instead of the V. So the V sound is actually the voiced version of F. So just like I would say F, now I'm going to add my voice. F, V. So it's all here, right? My teeth are touching my bottom lip. F, V. So the only difference is I'm using my voice. Very. So sometimes we can practice these words by saying it with the unvoiced sound and the voice sound. Very, very, right? Two different words, but the only difference is I'm using my voice, right? Feel that vibration. Very, very. So the V is the voiced F sound. W is your mouth opens. Wah, wah. So there's no teeth touching. Wah. So this is the difference between the two. V, your teeth are touching your bottom lip. Very. W is an open sound. Wah, 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 wah. Okay, so I hope that helps. Very useful to practice F and V together since they're the same sound, really. Okay, thank you for your question. Okay, anyone else here? Can I give some classes about the sounds of the alphabet? Sure. Yes, I think maybe next week we will talk more in detail about voiced and unvoiced sounds. I think that could be really good and useful for the different sounds in the English alphabet. Oh, it's Lolly Lolly. Hi, Lolly Lolly from France. Good to see you. Very helpful. Thanks a lot. You're welcome. Hello from Myanmar. Well, hello to you. Thank you so much for joining today. You are welcome. I hope that you got something useful from the lesson today. You like my pronunciation. Thank you. So actually, when I am teaching, I try not to use linked sounds. So even that sentence, I try not to use linked sounds. If I say that naturally, I try not to use linked sounds. It helps so you can hear each word clearly. Yes, so thank you. I'm glad that you like my pronunciation. So can we say, thank you for your question. Can we say how else, like we say what else or who else? Yes, so how else is something we use, but always make sure that you're using it with a how question. So for example, what else? I would use what else to ask you about like a thing or an object, right? What? So maybe you're ordering food and you say, I want pizza. I might ask, what else do you want? Because that is a situation where I would use what. Who else? I'm talking about people, right? My friend is coming to the party. My brother's coming to the party. Oh, who else, right? Because we're talking about people. Who else? How else? Yes, we can use, and we do use it often with how questions. So what do we use how for? Often with explaining a method or way of doing something. So let's say I'm traveling and I want to go from one city to another city. And there are many ways. I could take a bus, I could take a subway, I could take a plane, but maybe I don't know. So I ask someone, oh, hi, I want to travel to this other city. I know I can take a bus, but how else can I get there? So other ways or other methods. That's how we would use how else. Thanks, but when someone who speaks English doesn't understand me, I switch to robot mode. Oh, so do you mean that maybe it's hard to be natural when someone is not understanding what you're saying? I think that is understandable, very understandable. I'm not sure what to do about that, but just keep trying to communicate, and you'll get through it. Some lessons about phonetics. Yes. So someone asked about the sounds of the alphabet, phonetics. Yes, we can definitely do lessons about this in the future. Thank you guys for your ideas, right? We're here to help you. So this is our viewer saying, I can't improve my English skills for a long time, and now I'm stressed. What can I do? Okay, so I would ask you a few questions, and I'll give you some advice that I have given on these live streams before. Some things to think about. How long have you studied English? Question 2, how have you studied English? So think about how you have studied English. What do you like and what has worked well for you? And what do you not like and what has not worked for you? Think about what you like and what has worked for you and do more of that. So maybe, let's say I am studying to learn Spanish, and I really, really like watching Spanish TV shows, but I hate studying grammar. If I only am studying grammar for many, many, many years, then I am going to have a hard time learning. But if I am doing something I enjoy, I will learn a lot quicker. So I see that you have been in the US for almost 9 years. So definitely English is first, give yourself, be patient with yourself. Learning another language is hard, especially a language like English that has so many other languages that influence it. But find a way that you enjoy learning and that works for you. Maybe it's watching something, maybe it's reading, maybe it's podcasts. Find what you enjoy and do more of that. Thank you for your question. Okay, let's see. Do we have anything else? Okay, so here it's sometimes difficult pronouncing words ending in S to know whether to use the Z sound. Yes, so if you are only reading the word and you have not heard it before, this can be difficult. But often when a word ends in E, S-E, we pronounce it like a Z, like cheese or these, right? If it just ends in S or C-E, then that's S. So again, another S-E example, choose, these, cheese, right? All these words that end in S-E, often we use Z. But if it ends in C-E, like nice, or ends in S, like plus, then we use that S sound at the end. The difference that I'm from versus I from. So we would always say I'm from because this means I am from. So we need to have a verb with our sentence, right? English is subject, verb, object. From is not a verb. From just is a preposition, I think. We need a verb in our sentence. So am is the verb. I am. I, subject, am, verb. From Indonesia, the rest of our sentence, right? So we need a verb in our sentence for it to make sense. I am from Indonesia. Okay, let's see. Any other questions? I'm new here. Oh, welcome. Hello to you. Thank you so much for joining. I'm glad to see a new viewer on here. Oh, okay. So you studied 8 years at university, but most of your learning was about literature. Well, if you like literature, that's great. But of course, in spoken English, usually it does not have much to do with literature. So it's good to find examples of modern English to listen to, read, and listen to and practice to really improve. Okay. Let's see. Who's next? Oh, thank you very much. I'm so glad that you think so. Oh, this is a great question. Thank you. So you are worried about pronunciation because there are a lot of sounds that aren't in Vietnamese. How can I improve my pronunciation effectively? So great question. Actually, right now I have several Vietnamese students, and sometimes it is difficult for them to pronounce certain sounds for the reason you said, because those sounds are not in their language. Let's see. I think that it can really be useful. It's a bit of a tedious process, but you can start by looking at how to what to do with your mouth to make the sound. So, for example, someone earlier said they have a hard time with the V and W, mixing those up. Well, one way you can figure out how to make the V sound is to look, where do I put my teeth? Where do I put my tongue? And what's happening in my mouth to make those sounds. So it takes practice, but there are good videos. Even when you use Google to look it up, sometimes it'll show a mouth saying something, or show like a side inside, where does your tongue go? And how to make that sound. So there are a lot of resources out there. If there are sounds that you have trouble with, you can look at YouTube videos. You can look at just Google how to make the Z sound or whatever it is, and find really good resources out there that show pictures so you can imitate how to do it and start from there. I have my degree in education, but I did study linguistics a bit, of course. Yep, have to teach language. Yeah. Hello, nice to meet you. Have I been to your country? I want to invite you to come to my country. I have not been, but I would love to go, and I accept your invitation. One day, I would love to go. I've heard it's a beautiful country. Lolly lolly, the difference between want and won't. Okay, so thank you. And this sound, this little difference can be hard to hear, especially with different English accents. So here we're looking at the ah and the o. So that's the big difference. Want, we have a very strong ah sound. Let's see, what would be another word with ah? Maybe like, yeah, want. I can't think of one right now. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired. But want, we have the ah, want. Whereas won't, we have that o. So that's the difference. Want, wah. Won't, whoa. So the a sound, very strong a versus very strong o sound. So I hope that helps. Plural words like boys and leaves. Ah, I see. Okay, so you asked the question about S, when to use S or Z sounds at the end. I would say that that's a good question. So with plurals, I think let me think for just a second. That could be a future lesson, actually, because a word like want, we would say wants. But boys, leaves, we use the Z sound. So actually, that could be a future lesson because I want to answer your question more fully. So maybe in a future lesson, I'll look into and do some research and help you answer that question. When do we use S and when do we use Z for plural words? Thank you. Very good question. I asked about making a live stream from us to help your followers practice speaking with you as a native speaker. Let's see. Well, first, how am I doing? I'm doing great. Thank you. I hope you're doing well too. With making a live stream with someone, like with a follower, with some of you guys, I don't know how we would make that work, but that could be very interesting to do. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for joining. How to pronounce vowel letters. So the vowels in English are A, E, I, O, and U. And, English. There are many ways to pronounce these sounds, but generally A is A, E is E, I is I, O is O, and U is U. So A, E, I, O, U are the vowels, the basic vowel sounds in English. Oh, and we also have E, like a Y or a double E. T in often, silent or not? Oh, controversial question. Some people say often, and some people say often. Both are correct. So you can say it however is most comfortable for you. Often, often. I say often. Oh, thank you, teacher. Thank you, Lolly Lolly. I hope that I was able to help you with that want and won't question. Okay. Any other questions out there before we wrap it up? Maybe we'll take one or two more. So another question. Thank you for all your questions. Disgusting. Yeah, so the G in this does have almost a K sound, and this is because K and G are the voiced and unvoiced pairs, just like S, Z, F, V, K, G. So they're a pair, which means sometimes they switch up in words. We might pronounce a G as more of a K sound. So yes, disgusting. K, almost disgusting. Yeah, we do kind of like an SK sound. Disgusting. Yeah, you got it. That's the correct way. Okay, so why, whose, and what? What's the rule? Well, the rule, the what influences how the WH sounds. For example, whose, we have the h sound, right? But why, what, we have the w sound, just W sound. So here the difference is the O. So WHO is who. All the other ones, WHA, wa, what. WHE, when. WHI, like which. There's no WHU. So WHO, who. So only WHO does it have an H sound. So I hope that helps. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for watching. So glad to answer all your questions, and you guys gave me some great ideas for future live streams where I can answer your questions in more detail. So thank you, everyone, and I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.